I'm gonna tell y'all something. I couldn't have got more embarrassed. As soon as I opened the door, this girl I used to go to school with relaying a message. She's sexy. And then something told me, bro, wipe the refrigerator off on the side. Cause the roaches is gonna be crawling up the damn refrigerator. Right when you open the door, I be down, but I open the door, 2 roaches. It looked like her mouth dropped. I look back at the roaches, like, the audacity. The audacity. Lord. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Whoever put these roaches in, I wish something told me not to do that video. I don't have no roaches. Cause they ordered them roaches offline, man. You can't I stepped on one and it picked my feet up. We done got all the bun. We done spent about $1,000 on roach stuff. These roaches was made. And I think they got cameras on their heads. But anyway, cause one of them just looked at me, used the restroom like this. You gonna do the rub test when you get up? One of them was on the shower curtain. You gonna do the rub test when you get up? Ooh, I tell y'all the truth, I can't take this. I can't take it. I talked to God about it. Me and God been. Ooh, boy. I told my answer. I said, I know y'all trying to make these people suffer, but as long as I'm in the situation, just let them get away with it. Just let them get away with it. My God. But anyway, let me see if I can get to this point. I want to tell this story, y'all. It's a great story. It's a good story. And thanks to the rub test, I figured it out. You know, you got to watch when you ask guys and stuff, because everybody want to know. This, what I'm finna tell y'all, we all wanted to know, just like people used to want to know, or you probably still want to know. I don't know how you still want to know if Jesus got Jesus. Well, the part that Jesus was a virgin, everybody stuck on that too. Well, I figured it out. We're gonna put this in the anime. This part anyway, because I'm gonna say I'm talking about my family, but you just said for anime family. You know what I'm saying? You just said it's anime thing. You get what I'm saying? So, man, that was embarrassing. I wanna cry. If I could cry, cry. 2 of them. I look back at the roaches with her. Oh my God. The torture is overwhelming. Damn. You can't kill them. They were made in a lab. And they used meth to make them. Don't cry. Please don't cry. Anyway, okay, now let's go back to Mary in the Bible. Let's go back to Mary in the Bible. Ooh, Lord. Okay, Mary came and put the cologne on Jesus' feet. And if you remember what the disciples said about her, they were basically saying she was either Jezebel, Isabel, or whore, or something like that. Okay. Well, you can either say anime purposes. You can either say the flame that came to me the first time. She's married. She keeps saying she lives, but she ain't. She's married. Okay. And let's just say that it's anime purposes. I'm just trying to make a point here of why Jesus probably was a virgin, all the way up to Mary, celibate, or whatever. He wasn't a virgin. He probably was celibate like myself. I'm just saying, if you know my story, then you could pretty much, you call it celibacy or a virgin if you done been like that for so long. I'm just saying, if you put somebody like me as Jesus, let me shut up. There, bloop. Bloop. You know, when I say something about my big brother, God be on me, bro. Bloop. I can't say much. They won't let me do nothing, y'all. So let's get to it. Thank God for the rub test. I want to thank God for the rub test, because I always want to know myself. And getting involved in this rub test, it was just so awful to me, because I growed up in a way that I was being attacked from the jump. So all my lovers wasn't probably only attacked sexually, family members, parents, or whoever, friends, whatever. They were paid a lot to be distorted towards me. So, with that being said, let's say you in this neighborhood, you in this surrounding, you in this neighborhood, and or you in the county, and you're a target for the whole county, the whole town, whole city, or whatever. Well, let's go back to the beginning when you're born into this world. Let's say I was born a special child, just like Jesus was, and the parents were notified about the child. Okay, right then and there, your parents better be good parents. Because if they told your parents something about this child, whether it's an inheritance, you had a baby, you was a virgin, or whatever, then your parents better be good parents. If not, the sacrifice is gonna be up through there. When they got this information, well, this kid is basically born, this child basically born with a veil, right? So this child in tune with energy, DNA and all that. Well, this child noticed, he can have a lover, but it's got to be a particular lover, and that lover can't be no distorted or contaminated lover, basically, or a tainted lover. In other words, not really in the norm, but wickedly. You know what I'm saying? Most people that's jumping around, they pretty wicked. They just don't want to own up to it. Because you jump from one bed to another bed, you're going to probably go through a whole lot of beds. I know people that travel the world to do it. I know people do it in close proximity. I know people people travel a good distance, just so that people around them don't know about it. Either way, it goes the same thing. Okay. All right. So anyway, but this child know this energy. This child know when this child gets somebody, this child can't be tainted by this energy. And as soon as this child is tainted by this energy, the child noticed the dissension in the spiritual realm, in the physical. The child start noticing this at an early age. See, that's huge right there. That's huge. I mean, you have to add proper conduits, card readers or something, and they'll probably explain this better than I can. But that's huge. I can explain it a little bit. You know how if you smoke crack too much, or you do that boy too much, you start to do the kite, the fall, your ancestors drop you. It's something like that. They'll drop you. So these women are contaminated to the point where, I ain't gonna say this about Jesus, I'm saying this about another person. I'm just saying, it would put clarity on why, if he was a virgin or celibate for that long, it just put clarity. This is not Jesus' story, it's my story though. It's my anime story. Alright, so what happened is, they purposely contaminate everybody that they feel like gonna have anything to do with this person, this male figure. So, they bring two different ways to contaminate him. They want to contaminate, they want him to go both ways, but that ain't gonna work, that won't work. Okay, well, he just want women. Well, contaminate all the women. Contaminate all the women that don't probably have anything to do with him. Like I said, this ain't just got to be through STDs. This just could be through sabotaging them, doing stuff to him, grab his hair, make sure you take his hair from him. Love him real good, make sure you get his hair. Love him real good. Make sure you put this in his food. Love him real good. Just make sure you do the, stuff like that. Pimp stuff. And so So this child noticed his energy growing up. This child noticed his energy growing up. So as much as the child loves sex, who don't love sex, right? The child started realizing at a young age, well, he ain't a child. At this point, he's a teenager. I still call them kid. 20-year-old, I still call you a kid. I call 40, 50, 60, I call an 80-year-old person a child, depending on how their mind is. But this child realized sex is about to be no more. He ain't gonna be able to have sex. If he have sex, he gonna have to descend from his elevation with God just to have sex. And the child ain't gonna do that. The child on a mission. The child is here for a reason. The child is on a purpose. The child gotta live a purpose. The child is here to do something. And the child gotta be elevated this high. The child have to be elevated this high. Okay? So like I said, that's why I said that I take things back from that rub. That rub test ain't that bad. I don't know if it's bad or good or not. I don't know. I know I'm working for God, and God he ain't really telling me much about it. And I know I'm a triple op. I'm an angel, a war angel, a warrior angel. And I know we here to investigate a lot of stuff. So I don't know if it's bad or good, but I'm not gonna say it's bad or good right now. But I know I'm getting a lot of good out of it. So I'm showing you the good that I'm gaining out of it. So so it get to the point where it's just like the rub test, basically. The child is not descending from it. And and the Bible says, you shouldn't fornicate. But see, this child is old. This child is old. This energy of this child is old, older than the Bible. Okay? It's older than the Bible. This child is here to work on stuff that's perverse. So, of course, sex and all that's going to be part of it. And right now, with the way people are purposely contaminated, you can tell it was put into motion probably a long time ago once by Satan, then man just kept it going. You know what I'm saying? Somebody probably sold his soul to do something crazy. But anyway, so the energy is distorted when it comes to lovers. Lovers just don't care. They out there with multiple parties. It don't bother them because they don't understand the spiritual realm. And like I said, I don't mind people copying me, man, but if anybody copy me, I really don't mind if it's the twin because we cut from the same cloth as well. The soulmates, I don't know about that part, but my twin flame, we pretty much cut from the same cloth. And the other one I'm talking to, that's Raw family, I think. You just need to look into it, Shaw. You know what I'm talking to. You need to go study that. Quit talking about the mass and stuff. You better go study secretly. If you got people around you don't want you to study, you better do it secretly. Because you'll learn a lot more about yourself. But anyway, the child realized it wasn't really descending. But it couldn't overdo it. It couldn't overindulge in it. It couldn't use it for, which was crazy, right? So at this point, the child is talking to the spiritual. All right, now we're finna bring it in. Okay, now why would the child be talking to the spiritual? Because it's all. Oh, y'all don't get it now. See, we passed angel wings now. We up to the coat, the jacket. And let's just say this is anime. It's all. This jacket got to be filled with all gas. And this jacket prefer premium gas. And it's only, it was 2, but since one sold them out, it's only one other person in the world that can give them that premium gas, and that's the twin, since the flame sold them out. Okay, this coat would leave his ass. This coat is needed. This coat is needed for a lot of reasons. This is just a saying. This is just, this is anime now. This is anime. It's not real. This coat is needed. And this coat But you know, some of it you just gotta figure it out yourself. But this coat need this oil. This coat is needed for certain reason that I won't say on here. And this coat want that oil. The coat done got used to. The coat can use any oil. The coat can use regular gas, but it don't want regular gas because it done got used to premium. So this coat need this oil, this gas, or whatever. So now you know. So it ain't a woman around, so how's he getting it? He know his twin flame. He's on the spiritual journey with God, a real one. So they exchanging energy. That person know, and that person, even if that person all the way across the world, they know they exchanging energy with each other. The problem is, one is in Anubis right now. One is spinning out of Anubis energy into Ra energy, and the other one is in Ra energy. So the grandparents are blocking the sexual feeling between the two. They might can feel it inside, but they can't, imagine it or nothing like that. It's torture. And the grandparents ain't opening up. And the grandparents, the ancestors, basically, they not opening up. And they're not letting you get in there. Which is good reason, great reason now. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just I probably haven't ascended enough to open those doors of Ra, which is totally understandable. So, but that coat want that oil. So that's gonna leave this guy that I said is like Jesus in a rock and a hard place. Because now he's on the verge of losing his coat. Not the lover, because the lover might not even show it. He might not ever meet the lover. He just need the oil. They just sharing oil with each other. You know what I'm saying? They sharing with each other. And this is the power in real soulmates and twins and twin flames, because you can feel one another before you even come in contact with each other. Facts. Scientifically, them facts. So, anyway, so now we go back to, now we get why Jesus possibly was a virgin or celibate for so long, because Jesus knew energy. Jesus knew he couldn't share his DNA with anybody. And he probably, just like myself, he knew you can't just have kids with anybody. And the person that he was assigned to have kids with sold him out. Not Jesus, but in my case, sold me out, which was the flame. Okay, now when you look at Mary on Jesus' side, okay, Mary at the cologne, and they said Mary was like a Jezebel or something. Well, if Jesus was in love with Mary, then that would mean that's the same kind of position that Jesus was in. You get what I'm saying? So while she gallivanting, Jesus had to stand still, stand straight up. So it wasn't nobody else to even worry about. So when what happened to you psychologically when you get in this situation, especially at a young age? You have to overcome the thoughts of, you have to admire a woman from a great distance. And you totally have to overcome sexual contact. In other words, that would easily bring about no fornication and no sexual immorality. Easily. Because I had to go through that. In order for me to stop thinking about sex, you don't want a woman, what you want a man? I want y'all, everybody that say that, I want y'all completely to get out my energy. Because you ain't on my level. You ain't even on my level. I'm fine. I don't care if I got 1 million people following me and it's 900,000 of y'all that's thinking like, I want all 900,000 of y'all to get on somewhere and not start over. We ain't talking like that. Elevate. You gotta elevate over here. So anyway, so at this point, you already done talked to God about it. You like, well, I gotta only be thankful. I can only imagine the beauty of a woman from a distance. And what I mean that emotionally, and all the leads, even Bruce Lee. I don't know why I said Bruce. I ain't for the 3 2. But I done got used to saying that. But anyway, but yeah, so you gotta imagine, you got at this point, you gotta acknowledge and observe and admire a woman from a great distance. So, right here, once you realize this, you ain't got no choice but to control your sexual desires. Right there, once you get to that, once you figure that out, you got to cut your sexual desires off. One time, this is anime. One time, I was in the sex round, in the rub test, and I heard the twin say, "What's wrong with you?" Well, now you know. Because this person was getting attacked by family members. And the family members was purposely sleeping with all their females and contaminating all their females. Because the family members, they didn't care about the female, they didn't care about him. They just cared about the money. And somehow, some way, if this child would have got married in a successful marriage, a real marriage, they would have had to get that child that money. So in order to keep that child from that money, they had to keep on contaminating everything around that child. It's a sad story, but it's real though. I mean, a lot of people going through this. And I figured it all out through the rub test. Ain't that amazing? That's amazing, bro. That's why I said I pull good out of anything, man. That's amazing. I figured it all out because, you know, in the rub test, a person like me would go to God a lot. Like, why is this good when in the Bible it says this? And then I had to go further back before the Bible and what's going on. So, what's going on is, let's say in the spiritual, we have to, it's a must. That's why I said 50 years old, a lot of y'all going to be looking and probably won't find one because you done sacrificed them all. But it's in the spiritual, your higher self, not just mine, especially all you floats. If you part of my tree, you a float, probably. So, you eventually need to get with your right oil, your premium oil, because you are gassing up your higher self. It's like Dragon Ball. You amping up. All them people you keep sleeping with because you satisfying your sexual desires because of your physical issues. You probably sleeping with unleaded, watered down gas. It ain't helping you. Not only is it not helping you now, you descending sleeping with them. So eventually you gonna realize this. So this coat need this oil. This coat need this gas. Okay, but so now how is this person gonna get it when everything around them is contaminated and then unlock them off from sexual encounters? Man have. So how's he gonna get it? He gonna have to do it through the spiritual, which is not bad and it ain't good, but it's good. And it's very good in the way of you gonna easily find your soulmates and twin flame like this. So you start calling out. You're calling them to you, basically. This deep, y'all. It's hard going back and forth like this from spiritual to physical. So your higher self needs you to stay. Cause now that you done elevated this high, your higher self needs you no matter what stay like that. Cause they probably at war, the spiritual war. They probably at war over there, and he probably done got piled up. He done showed off. I'm over there. What the Goku, that blue, the silk blue or whatever Goku we call that thing, the silky blue or whatever that is. Goku be turning into that last. I'm over here. You can't descend down there, cause I done elevated up here. I got the silky blue going on. You gonna have to do something. You can't. You gotta keep the oil coming. You gotta, no matter what, keep the oil coming. How can I keep the oil coming when ain't nobody around me to keep the oil coming? Figure it out. You know, so figure it out. Rub test. So the real test kick in. Now in the physical, the real test could be some joke, some movie, some clown ass, something. But I always tell people this before I even got online. Anytime God lets something keep going, it's got to be more to it. So now let's figure this out. What is the more to it? Y'all idiots done trapped angels and high vibrational beings, including your own batteries and own engines. See, when it comes to your tree, it don't matter what color you is. Y'all idiots done trapped them and put them in boxes, ciphered energy from them, not knowing they are built. Certain people, now this is the fact, I'm bringing the spiritual to the physical. This is why certain people have to have their lovers when they here. Because them people are like the root to the tree. They got to send your higher self all that energy. But somebody perversely made you think, which is Satan, hey, I tell you how you can help your tree. Lock your half of your tree. A house divided against itself can't stand. But see, they tricked you. They told you, they black, they ain't related to you. Them ain't nothing but the N-word. Them ain't nothing but the N-word. Not knowing you white. Yeah, that person black, but that's your engine. That's your battery. And you thinking you stuck ciphering that energy because you feel like you can't get paid. No, the energy keeping you stuck ciphering that energy so you don't kill them, because it's going to be even more detrimental if you kill them for your whole tree. See, you see the energy? All right, now boom, let's try to figure this out. So, So the rub test, so okay, they need the oil. So now, so it's the sensation inside of you. You got to get these two to resonate on the same frequency. I would go off the vein, but I ain't going off that no more. 'Cause I think that's commercial. I think that's some artificial crap that got something to do with fans or something. It might be right with that, but somehow you got to communicate in the spiritual with your twins or twin flames, and to acknowledge one another that y'all sharing each other all with each other. And it's for a bigger purpose, a huge purpose. It's for a bigger purpose. So the rub test, which is 3 times a day, really. I mean, not with, even without that oil, you really need that oil. They really need that oil 3 times a day. That's why I said, if you with your person, both of y'all need to have that experience when y'all let go. One of y'all can't just please it yourselves. Both of y'all gotta have that experience. And it don't matter when you're doing it with the rub test, it don't matter if it's offset or off time. You just gotta, only those who know what I'm talking about, that done felt this vibrational frequency, know what I'm talking about. A lot of y'all out there gonna be like, oh, he just did this for the case, says this, he just need to walk away, bro. You need to elevate. Some of y'all out there, I've been observing y'all. Y'all brain smart, but that's it. That's it. You're dead to everything else because you done been hurt and devoured. And you need to go get your heart back because you damn near seared with a smart brain that don't make no sense. Because you, basically what I'm trying to say is you believe everything in the physical, everything that got anything to do with the physical. You really truthfully don't believe in the spiritual. And the sad part about that is you might be a specialist in the spiritual when it comes down to studying it, but you suck at it. Now, let me go on and get right here, back where I'm at. So now when you and your twins and soulmates are really talking to each other from the spiritual and the physical, because now y'all, what I mean by that, you had to search for them in the spiritual. Okay? You finally reached them in the physical. Now y'all can feel one another energy in the physical. That's God. Ain't no more can do that. Satan can't do that. You finally contacted. That's God. That's God. So now you got to keep talking to each other in the spiritual. And y'all starting to finally share in. That's another hard part. Sharing the oil with one another in the spiritual to feel it in the physical. But now you finally getting to that level. But see, now the coat, the jacket done got used to that. You can't turn. You can't re-navigate. You can't go find, well, let me find it. It's a road. But when it comes down to this level, you trapped, bro. That's why I tell y'all, know what you know when you start elevating like this. Because it's a curve. It's a spin. It's a curve. And man, I'm telling y'all. But this right here bring a lot of clarity to why Jesus stayed. It wasn't no, I know now, for those of you out there saying, shoot, I couldn't do it. You would do it if you was powerful as Jesus and you could talk to the spiritual realm like Jesus could. Jesus elevated was high, way higher than mine. And I already know that I ain't trying to play with none of you humans out there with all that stuff y'all got going on. Not when it comes to my Father. No, hell no. Y'all playing too. Y'all got too much going on. And y'all do the most for $1. I done turned down dollars so much, I don't even know how I was able to get a tank top. I done turned down money my whole life. But somehow, God made it a way for me to be able to still take care of myself. And I bought cars and everything. I turned down something and God give me something better. It just, it's a window of time thing. But anyway, back to this rub test. So it's like basically it's a spiritual war. And like I said, y'all locked up the people that were needed. This already 31 minutes. Y'all locked up the people that were needed. That is a problem. You locked up yourself too now. Go look it up. Y'all keep saying, when I say family tree, you keep automatically thinking about genealogy. I'm not talking about genealogy. I'm talking about the people you incarnate with, reincarnate with every time you incarnate. Go talk to some energy now. They're going to tell you some real conduit. They're going to tell you what I'm talking about. This ain't got nothing to do with color. These are people that you incarnate with everywhere. What I'm trying to say is, let's say it's a group of y'all in heaven finna incarnate on earth. Y'all all different colors. Well, in heaven, I don't know, but when you get here, y'all gonna be all different colors because one of y'all, once y'all hit here, you land in the mother womb. Landing in the mother womb is like people jumping off an airplane and just landing out here on the ground. A bunch of people jumping off an airplane with a parachute. You trying to land somewhere on the ground. So landing in this mama womb, you get what I'm saying? It's going to be a whole bunch of different mothers. And they all going to be different colors. You see the proof in there? So y'all going to get in these wombs. And then one of y'all going to be born the president and the other one going to be born in the slum. But y'all still family tree. That's why the energy is so tough. In your mind, we got them in this box. Because and you notice that the storms is coming when you kill them or you torture them, and that's why you ain't gonna tell the people that though. You gonna say we got them in the box, and you making money off these people and making a living off these people, but you ain't gonna tell the people that though. We got them in the box to say the what. But anyway, you put them in the box, and not only did you put them in the box, you put them in the box to torture them to death. And one of the main schemes and programs to torture these people to death is to make sure they don't have a lover. This is the anime stuff. Unless this is some kind of chosen one test now. But at the end of the day, these people that you got in the box are needed. They were built with somebody on earth. The zodiacs will even teach you that. Certain people are built with lovers. Somebody took a great conduit and they cut through them lovers and separated those lovers. And they ciphered energy off of each one of them. It don't matter if one of y'all on the good side and one of y'all on the bad side, both of y'all still getting energy ciphered off of you. Because they going to need you to use you to hurt the other one. Because that's going to intercept justice in a way. That's going to make you and that person suffer from justice and bad karma. And the people who manipulated the situation going to try to skeet their way out of it. You hear what I'm saying? That's how that works. But this is how detrimental that whole test is. That's how you know it's of Satan. Satan probably told it to y'all a long time. I notice when people sell their souls to Satan, Satan give them this little blueprint on how to distort energy. And when Satan after the picture, they think they got it because it seems simple to do. and you keep on doing it. That's the problem. You can't do it. That's the problem. But anyway, so you take these people, you took these people in it, you took these people lovers, and you separate them. Now it's a spiritual war over there, and even your higher self is losing the war. Over here, you got all the money, you got all the honey, you got all the drugs. You partying like a rock star, going straight to hell when you die, because you making your higher self suffer. Because at the end of the day, you are a vessel for your higher self. You are a vessel for God, not Satan. But you took it upon yourself to sell yourself out to Satan. So now we know why Jesus didn't do what he did, because Jesus was already in tune with the spiritual. His parents was already warned while he was born. A child born like that can't just sleep with anybody. Their DNA too precious. They priceless. They can't just spread their DNA around like that. That's why these boxes, even if they are good or bad, I don't know what the hell they is, but they need to be cleaned up. Bad. Because whoever, I don't think nobody, I mean, I don't know. When it comes down to this chosen one, maybe they are supposed to be tortured. I don't know. But if this is how they always been, way before, like when other people have been dying in them, no, God ain't bringing nobody here to torture them to death. Y'all better hurry up, fist them. Because y'all using all that energy, and you think it's good, but you stealing from yourself. Because you always got to remember what I just said about the incarnation of family tree. Like a friend, a family have. When y'all incarnate, every time you reincarnate and incarnate, y'all always do it together. It's just that when you land on earth, you be in different energies. But y'all family though. So now we know why Jesus had to do it. It ain't that Jesus wanted to do it. He had to. And I was just talking to my ancestors. I don't know if they were talking to me about doubt. But I was like, not in my situation, it's programming. Because if somebody went through that their whole childhood and they made it where they couldn't sleep with nobody because they was contaminated. If they slept with somebody that was contaminated, they were going to descend from the elevation with God. They couldn't just sleep with anybody. They had to sleep with a particular person. So when they finally found a particular person to sleep with, then the enemy would come in and contaminate that person. Well, that's already a forfeit. That's already a fault right there. That's already a fault. That's already an error right there. Now, how is Jesus going to get around this error? Now, I'm saying, this ain't Jesus. This ain't I'm just saying, for me, that's what happened. How is he going to get around this error? Okay, the only way he's going to get around this error is by staying celibate. So now, you got a problem with the rub test. Because he probably had to practice celibacy at a teenager or younger than that. And how did he do that? Stop thinking lustful thoughts about a woman. Because he already got to the point in his head that he probably would never get to have one if he was going to have to stay stuck in that situation as a child. So, now that we get all the way up, he ain't thinking like that no more, of course. But that's programming. When it's from 0 to 40, that ain't doubt. That's programming at that point. Because everybody did it. It got to the point where people couldn't even find their own women. They had to be in my energy just to have a woman. You could probably go look around. I ain't been out in a while. But you could probably go look around. Everybody who's with somebody probably dating somebody that was once in my energy. They ain't even got a woman of their own. They can't even find a woman of their own. And that right there what explains why there ain't no women around here for everybody. Because you decided to live. You decided to take your energy and sell it out and live in somebody else's energy. So when you got 20 people, let's say you got 20 people in the whole country. You got 20 people in the whole country that decided to live in one person's energy. They forfeit their own energy. So now it's just one energy for everybody to share. It's totally perverse. I learned all that from that rub test. That was pretty good. Brilliant, actually.